You've probably met them. Calm, self-contained, almost unbreakable. The kind of person who never seems shaken, never needs help, never begs anyone to stay. But here's the twist nobody tells you. Behind that cool, distant exterior is a kind of suffering so quiet, so invisible, that even they don't realize it's eating them alive. Tonight, I want to tell you the story of the dismissive avoidant personality and why the silence around their pain might be the most dangerous part of all. If you're into deep psychology stories like this, the kind that make you see people differently, go ahead and hit subscribe right now. Tap the notification bell, because this channel dives into the hidden sides of the human mind every single week, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's set the stage. Imagine a child who learns early that relying on others is risky. Maybe their emotions were ignored. Maybe comfort came with strings attached. Maybe vulnerability was met with ridicule, silence, or disappointment. Over time, that child doesn't cry louder, they shut the door. They learn a powerful lesson that shapes their entire life. I don't need anyone. I'll handle it myself. And from the outside, that looks like strength, independence, control. But inside, something else is forming, a deep emotional firewall. And here's why it matters, because that firewall doesn't just keep pain out, it keeps connection out too. At first, it works really well. The dismissive avoidant grows up efficient, capable, admired. They don't fall apart in crises. They don't cling. They don't chase. In relationships, they seem grounded, even mysterious. But here's the first crack in the armor. When closeness appears, real closeness, their body reacts like it's under threat. Heart rate spikes, irritation rises, the urge to pull away becomes overwhelming, and they don't understand why. They just know something feels wrong, and they need space, fast. This is where the first mini cliffhanger begins, because the dismissive avoidant doesn't experience their pain as pain. They experience it as logic, as clarity, as certainty that something is off with the other person. Too needy, too emotional, too much. So they withdraw, they detach, they convince themselves they're better off alone. And the world reinforces it. Look how strong you are. Look how independent. But what if that strength is actually a cage? Here's the bigger reveal. Underneath that detachment is a nervous system that never learned how to be safe with others. The dismissive avoidant isn't heartless, they're overwhelmed. Emotions don't flow smoothly for them. They flood, then shut down. So they minimize, they intellectualize, they turn feelings into thoughts, because thoughts are controllable, feelings are not. And every time someone gets close, it threatens the story they've built to survive. Now comes the twist. The suffering doesn't show up in conflict, it shows up in the quiet moments, late at night, after achievements, after success, when there's no one to share it with. There's a dull emptiness they can't name, a sense that life is happening behind glass. They may have friends, partners, even families, but emotionally they're alone. And the most painful part? They believe this is just how life is. The dismissive avoidant often attracts people who crave closeness, anxious partners, emotional partners. And at first it feels good. Being wanted feels safe when it's on your terms. But as intimacy deepens, the old alarm goes off. You're losing yourself. You're being controlled. You're about to get hurt. So they pull away. They create distance, sometimes suddenly, sometimes coldly. And when the relationship ends, they feel relief, followed by something they don't expect, grief. Not dramatic grief, quiet grief, suppressed grief, the kind that sinks into the body and waits. Here's the mind-blowing lesson. Avoidance doesn't erase attachment, it delays it. The feelings don't disappear, they get stored, layer by layer, until one day the dismissive avoidant wakes up and realizes something terrifying. They don't know how to let anyone in, not really. And now, changing feels harder than staying the same. But there is a resolution, and it starts with awareness. The moment a dismissive avoidant understands that their independence was a survival strategy, not a personality flaw, everything shifts. The goal isn't to become needy, it's to become present, to tolerate closeness without running, to sit with discomfort without shutting down, to learn, slowly, that connection doesn't mean losing yourself.
Healing for the dismissive avoidant is quiet work. It's noticing the urge to withdraw and pausing. It's naming emotions instead of burying them. It's allowing small moments of vulnerability and surviving them. Over time, the nervous system learns a new truth. You can be strong and connected. You can be independent and intimate. The suffering was never proof of weakness. It was proof of how much you had to carry alone. So here's the final thought I want to leave you with. The dismissive avoidant doesn't suffer loudly. They suffer silently. And that silence can last a lifetime if no one ever names it. If this story resonated with you, I want you to comment below and answer this question honestly. Do you relate more to pushing people away or chasing them when they pull back? Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, someone who hides behind strength. And if you want more stories like this, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and stay with me, because understanding yourself is the first step towards finally being free.